Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kevin. I am back with another shoe review. It is January 1st. Hope everyone had a great end to 2024 and are off their 2025 is off to a great start. Mine certainly is because I'm not working and I was at the gym when it opened at 8 a.m. and I did a 8.5 mile treadmill sprint session in my Nova Blast 5s. That was my first shoe review, the Nova Blast 5 was. And if you aren't one of the 500 some odd people who've taken time out of their life to watch that video, you certainly can be one of those people. And I'll put a link somewhere in this video once I figure out how to do that. I'm still new to all of this stuff. So yeah, please bear with me. Yeah, so the shoe that I have for you today might not be a surprise because I referenced it in the last video. Um, and it is the ASICS Superblast 2, aka the greatest shoe of all time. I feel like a lot of people have said that about the Superblast 2. Well, they certainly said it about the Superblast 1, and I mean, the Superblast 2, by all accounts, is a little bit better than the Super Blast one was, which I did not have the Super Blast one. I did run in it once, and then returned it. Shout out Fleet Feet. Um, but yeah, at the time, this was a couple years ago, and I think that was right when I had gotten the Nova Blast 3s. And coming from a Nike Pegasus 38 or 39, I think 39, the Nova Blast 3 was just amazing compared to the Pegasus. And I didn't really need to go to the Super Blast. I was still sort of early in my running journey. And now that it's been a couple years and I'm more into running than I was back then and have absorbed so much more about shoe technology and I'm like really into running shoes. You know what? I can justify spending the money on the Super Blast too. As a bit of a quick disclaimer, I did mention this in my Nova Blast 5 review, but I did not pay full retail price for the Nova Blast 5, nor did I pay full retail for the Super Blast 2. I have a family friend who is able to participate in one of ASIC's very generous discount programs, so I got this on discount. So I did not pay the full retail price of $200. So again, like I said in the Nova Blast 5 review, does that mean I'm biased? Potentially. But the amount of money I saved, I would have gladly paid that um, for this shoe after having run in it and seen how much better it is than a Nova Blast 5, which, spoiler, is a fantastic all-around shoe. But there's a price point for a reason, and I'll talk a little bit about that delta between those two and my overall thoughts and opinions of this shoe. Yeah, maybe I'll just hold it and awkwardly move it every couple minutes just so that you know that I'm awake and paying attention. Um, Super Blast 2. So I'm not like with the Nova Blast 5 review, I'm not here to go into all the specs and details of the shoe. Everybody has already done that, months ago. The shoe's been out since the summer. There was the Paris colorway that came out before the Paris Olympics. So it's certainly been out for at this point half a year. So this is not new, and everyone knows what the stack height is. They know about the dual foams. You can see the two foams. You've got the FF Blast Turbo or FF Turbo, who cares? Race foam. And then the white part here is more of their training foam. The FF Blast Eco, which was in the Nova Blast 4, but is not in the Nova Blast 5. Anyway, long story short, more stack height than the Nova Blast 5. Um, Different laces. The upper is lighter and breathes better, certainly more racy, if that makes sense. I've never raced, but if I were racing, I would certainly want this kind of upper as opposed to the upper in the Nova Blast 5, which is more, I think, about cushion and comfort. It's a little more plush. Yeah, a little more stack height in the Super Blast 2. Obviously, the way the shoe's profile is, it looks like a ton of foam, and it really is, but your foot does, it is sort of deceiving. Your foot does sit down a little bit more. But yeah, a couple more millimeters of stack height as compared to the Nova Blast 5. Um, and honestly, I don't know that many people will feel the difference. Um, Again, I'm 6'5", 170, so I am tall, but I am not heavy. I'm a skinny boy, and but heavier than some runners. I mean, I read reviews from other, people on Reddit and stuff who are like, I'm 5'5", 140, or so. Like, there's certainly lighter runners than me. Um, and obviously, foot strike matters when it comes to impact and cadence and all that good stuff. So, um, let's just talk really quickly about my experience. Coming from the Nova Blast 4, I put 460 plus miles in the Nova Blast 4. I have, gosh, close to 70 miles, maybe 60 to 70 miles in the Nova Blast 5 now, and really love that shoe. I think, I would encourage you to watch my review of the Nova Blast 5, but if you don't want to, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, no big deal. It's a lot like the three and not at all like the four. I thought the three was awesome. I hated the four. I thought it was super boring. And the five is more like the three. It's fun, bouncy, exciting, what I want in a shoe. Whereas the four was kind of lifeless. It's a little dramatic, but it was pretty dead to me. I didn't really get much from it. Um, the foam just felt more dense. Gosh, where was I going with that? Who really cares? Um, Super Blast 2 is uh better than the Nova Blast 5, as a $200 shoe should be better than a $140 shoe. Now, I guess that's, faulty logic to say that inherently things that are more expensive than other things are better, but in this case, they are. The feel is just it's just amazing. It's unbelievable. Like I I just don't know how to describe. It's just the Nova Blast 5. It's better than Nova Blast 5, but how is it better? It's certainly firmer. It's firmer. The foam is firmer, and I think that's the FF Turbo. Is just a more springy, propulsive race foam. So it's certainly firmer. Like you feel the stack height, but it's a little more compact under you. Doesn't You don't sink really much at all. Um, and it's springy. It's just really springy. Like the Nova Blast 5 gives a little bit back. It's bouncy. It is springy. It's bouncy. Um, but in a different way than the Super Blast 2. The Super Blast 2 is just all business. That's what I guess that's the best way to, like, the Nova Blast 5 is fun. Take it out. I did a treadmill workout, a speed session in the Nova Blast 5 this morning, I mentioned, and I did like a 2 mile warm up at an 8 minute pace, which is about my, like, steady pace for long runs and stuff. And then I did a bunch of intervals of like 1 minute on, 1 minute off. And the first 10, I think I did alternating between an 8 minute pace and a 7 minute pace. And then the last 10, I kind of varied, but the last couple of intervals were a 6 minute pace, which is I think that's about 10 miles an hour. So the Nova Blast 5 can certainly handle that, but I would have much preferred having the Super Blast 2 just because the foam is all business. It's very springy, very responsive, snappy. I guess that's another good way to describe it. The Nova Blast 5 is not necessarily snappy. It kind of bounces you, but the Nova Blast 5 is just not as serious, which makes sense. I mean, the Super Blast 2 is a super trainer. It's a $200 super trainer. So obviously you're not going to go and just like plod around in this, whereas you definitely could do that in the Nova Blast 5. You could do it in this, but many shoe tubers would argue that that's a bad use case for the shoe. And I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. If you want to spend $200 on a shoe and then go run 15-minute pace miles, I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your life, it's your money. Um, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your running journey or your life in general. But yeah, this is just, it's a blast. Pun intended. It's just so much fun. Uh, Plenty of cushion, super protective. Yes, it's a lot of foam. So people have said, oh, it's super clunky. And Sure. I guess so. Like I haven't tried a ton of other shoes like this. I haven't tried an Endorphin Speed 4, um, or other shoes like that that are a little less shoe than this, but still give you that pop. But if you're going for long distances, yeah, it's hard to beat this. I've done long runs outdoors, in the 8 to 10 mile range. I've done some faster sessions on the treadmill in this, and it's just great across every use case. Um, if you're going slower and plodding, I mean, I could totally see why you might pick up the Nova Blast 5. Sorry, the sun is like right on my face, but the lighting looks great, so it's all good. Um, this could certainly be a do-it-all shoe, just like the Nova Blast 5 can be. A big difference is the outsole. Um, I don't even know what they call this, ASICS grip or something like that. I think so. But yeah, I absolutely amazing outsole. I ran in this outdoors a couple times. Um, and it just bites so well over everything. Whereas the Nova Blast 5 does not. It's just got a horrible outsole, and everyone says it, so it's true. So yeah, I'd say the big differentiator for the Super Blast 2, why you're paying an extra $50 is an outsole that actually works, um, a more breathable Wraith-like upper, um, and the Super Foam. And I think it's absolutely worth the extra dollars between the Nova Blast 5 and the Super Blast 2. Um, right now, my rotation is just the 5, the Nova Blast 5, and the Super Blast 2. And honestly, that is more than enough shoe. Either of those shoes would be more than enough shoe for you. But certainly the combo of those two is you wouldn't need more than that. But for people like me and maybe you who have disposable income and are running shoe geeks, um, then these are definitely two shoes that you'd want in your rotation just because they're both unique, um, in and of themselves. So yeah, this review is potentially not helpful, but if I had to sum it up, this is just an incredible shoe. Highly recommend it. I have about 65 miles in it, and the outsole is perfectly fine. Now, at least half of them were on the treadmill, so yeah, of course you're not going to like damage the outsole too much, and there's no mud and all that. I mean, look at this. This is basically brand new. Nothing on the upper. I mean, it's super clean, and with this colorway, I mean, this would be bound to get destroyed outside. Um, but I do wipe it down and stuff. But no, this shoe is fantastic. I'm so glad I got it. Even if I'd paid $200, I'd be super happy with it. Um, it's just so much fun. It's just a breeze at an 8 minute pace on the treadmill. You can bang out, 8 to 10 miles, no problem. Super protective on the legs. I haven't really pushed it super fast in this guy, but the foam will allow you to go, 5-minute miles, 6-minute miles, no problem. Um, for me, the shoe's not holding me back. It's my fitness and my cardio, and I'm just not, at a place where like people will wear these for marathons and they'll hold really fast paces in these guys, or they'll do long, fast runs, and I can either go long or I can go fast, not always both. So, um, yeah, I've tried to end the video like 15 times already, and everyone probably stopped watching, and I totally respect that, and I probably would have too. But for those of you still watching, the Super Blast 2 is an amazing shoe. I don't have a rating scale or score. I mean, maybe I'll get there at some point, but it's better than No Blast 5. That shouldn't be really a surprise. I think it's a universally adored shoe, and people that don't like this shoe, I have questions about if they do or if they just want to be counter everyone else. Um, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's all business, springy, propulsive, protective. Yeah, it's a super trainer. I mean, there's not much else to say. Um, so anyway, if you have any specific questions, definitely let me know. Um, Happy to answer any questions on, fit, sizing, how it feels, um, why I suck at shoe reviews, really anything that's on your mind. So with that, I will wrap things up, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another review in the future.